Man, it sure has been a long time since I've seen this opening screen. Friday Night Funkin. This game was an internet sensation for a long time, with its expressive animation, catchy music, and most importantly, the fact that it's free. But ever since the Kickstarter, it seems like this game has been on a downward spiral of mediocrity. Is it warranted? Well, considering some people haven't gotten their Kickstarter rewards. Hey, so this is post-editing Egg Boy here. So I just checked, and it seems like that they had most of the stuff shipped out last year. For the Kickstarter, so by now they should have everything, and the game has yet to release. So I just checked again, and apparently they have a mobile port, so that's probably explaining why it's taking so long. Plus, with all the new stuff they're adding, and like all the promises they made, I'm not surprised that it's taking this long. I just feel like people need to be a little bit more patient, you know? I can understand why some people are upset. However, I feel like the game itself doesn't deserve this level of prejudice. The game itself is actually pretty fun, but let's actually get into it. In the game, you play as Boyfriend, a blue-haired little guy that has to save his girlfriend from increasingly perilous situations by rapping. Opening the game, you're greeted by 7 different weeks and a weekend?
Wait, there's a weekend? Oh, that's kind of cool. Like how the normal ones are weeks and then... Yeah. That's kind of cool. And you play as Pico? Awesome.
Anyway, quickly moving on to week 1 with Daddy Dearest, the first song basically acts like a second tutorial, but it sounds fine enough, I guess. The next song is a lot more interesting, and I feel it's an actual representation of what you might see in the game. Then, we get to the final song, Dad Battle. This song is actually great. This is a great representation of what the game can cook in the right situations. It's great, the gameplay's fun, and it isn't terribly difficult either. After beating the song...
Whoa, what is this? Oh, they made a results screen? Oh, it looks so good. I'm actually very impressed right now. I didn't expect such a quality jump from last time I played when there literally wasn't a results screen at all.
Anyway, we head into week 2 against Skid and Bump of Spooky Month fame, and I'll be honest, the first song here isn't for me. Spookies feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be, creepy, catchy, or cute. Thankfully, the next song, South, is much, much better. It feels like they really nail what rapping and music is in the strange world of beeps and boops with this song. A+. Then we move on to Silly Lemon Guy. Initially, when I played the game way back when, I thought this guy was a reference to Lemon Demon, but apparently he wasn't intended to be. He just happens to be a monster with a lemon head. It's honestly kinda cool, and his animations give the vibe that this creature, whatever it is, it's almost desperate to drop the guise of a lemon and just kill you, with its eyes bulging out of its head and its freaky teeth. But the song itself... ugh. This was the first song with actual lyrics in it, and I applaud them for experimenting, but this just isn't it, I'm sorry. The actual vocals are so quiet, and Boyfriend sounds awful in the song, ending with more of a fizzle than a bang here. Week 3 is... holy shit, is that renowned Newgrounds icon and very not YouTube-friendly game mascot Pico from Pico's school? I'll be honest, I didn't know who Pico was when I played the game initially, but either way, this is such a cool inclusion that really expands the world to be more than just Boyfriend and whatever's in front of him. Skid and Bump kind of did this, but it feels much more huge with Pico, because with him in it, it feels like every Newgrounds icon is on the table. All of his songs are great too. The song named after the titular green shirt gunslinger is probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Philly Nice was my favorite song and soundtrack before the Tankman week got added, and Blamed is once again an incredible showcase of what this game can do. Week 4 is finally back to dealing with a threat created by the universe. That being Girlfriend's mother, Mommy Must Murder. No, I'm not calling her Mommy Mirrors because that sounds stupid.
Okay, so, I just looked it up, and apparently Mommy Mirrors is her actual, name. I didn't realize this. I initially thought that Mommy Mirrors was just a fan-given name because it fit well with Daddy Dearest. And I'm not sure if mirrorist is like an actual word, like dear or dearest. But that's what her name is, so that's my bad for getting that wrong.
And my god, the scenery of this week is on point. You're rapping against her on top of a moving limo driven by a demon, and there's a bunch of demon backup dancers, and the evening sun is sitting in the background. Even the character's hair blows in the wind. And this week feels like a really good time to actually mention the music overall. The music separated from the game itself is pretty alright. It's the same kind of good music as something like Risk of Rain or Ultra Kill, where you probably aren't listening to the music, say, on your way home from work or going to the store, but it still sounds great. I personally really like the instrumental to High. It's one I always come back to, and I plan on using it in videos, so expect to hear it a lot. Anyway, the music of week 4 is fine. Sad Panties is pretty good. High actually makes you feel like you're soaring above the clouds, and MILF kind of feels like what pop rap would be in this world. Week 5 is the excuse I'm using to release this video in the holidays. It's a whole week about Christmas, and goddamn, there are so many references in the background here. Ones I immediately recognized was Meat Boy and Henry Stickmin, but there's probably so many more that I don't even know about. The songs in this week are great too. They feel like actual Christmas tunes you might hear in this world, especially Eggnog. It kind of feels like a Christmas pop song, if that makes any sense. The Lemon Guy makes a return in this week too, and his song is a lot better here. Boyfriend sounds great, the vocals from the monster are just loud enough and menacing enough, and the environment looks great, like the monster is actually trying to mess with your head instead of just being there. Upon entering week 6,
a new fair maiden has come in search of true love. A serenade between gentlemen shall decide where her beautiful heart shall reside.
Talk about a shift in style, god damn. We went from great looking 2D animations to gorgeous looking pixel art that fits right at home with the styles of something like the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. The first song, Senpai, is pretty great. It feels like what you would hear on the title screen of a dating sim, which makes sense, I suppose. The next song, Roses, is a bit more not like that. It feels more like what you would hear in an argument scene of a dating sim, which also makes sense, but it's nothing special. It has dialogue as well, but I don't feel comfortable saying whatever the fuck this is. When you beat the song,
direct contact with real humans after being trapped here for so long, and her of all people. I'll make her father pay for what he's done to me and the others. I'll beat you and make you take my place. You don't mind your bodies being borrowed, right? It's only fair.
3, 2, 1, go!
Thorns is when the truth is revealed. Senpai, whatever the guy was never real. None of this was. This was all a game you've been stuck in with a tortured soul inhabiting it, presumably one of Girlfriend's exes, and he's looking to escape through Boyfriend and make Daddy Dears pay for all the torture. The song itself, while still sounding great, gives off the vibe of something akin to a chase theme. Maybe that's just me though. Week 7 is the one to finally introduce cutscenes, and they're all in different resolutions to the game itself for some reason. My only guess as to why this is that they're an actual video file within the game itself, so they can't be rendered at a higher rate because that's just what they are. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm more surprised we got cutscenes at all, considering the most we had before was just dialogue boxes.
Well, what do we got here? We should just kill you, but what the hell, it's been a boring day. Let's see what you got.
3, 2, 1, go!
The first song, Ugh, is when I knew the full version of this game was going to do awesome things. The song rocks, the animation of the background characters is great, Tankman himself looks great, and is actually decently difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's not hard, but it's much more difficult than anything before. Although I do have a complaint with Tankman's idle animation. His actual moving animations are pretty well done, and it gives off the idea that he's this cocky soldier, but his idle animation just kind of makes it seem like he's bored, like he's just waiting for the next thing.
Pretty tight bars for a little dude who's simping over an ugly, boring little teenager that wears her mom's clothes.
3, 2, 1, go!
The song afterwards, Guns, is even better, and honestly gives me the vibe of a rock and electro music. The guitar definitely helps with that. And the segment at the end, chills, dude. The last song's cutscene is awesome. Pico shows up, girlfriend falls into boyfriend's arm, Tankman says the funny C word, and then we move on to the last song. Stress. This song. Oh my god, this song. This was the moment that it really hit that this game, this free game made by just a handful of passionate people, is so much more than that. This song alone expands what this game and its community can achieve. It sounds great, the animations of Pico and the background Tankman are amazing once again, and goddamn, it just sounds great. The Weekend, by comparison, is somehow even better, with fully animated cutscenes that give us a lot more insight onto the actual story. Pico, along with a few of his cohorts, were hired by Daddy Dearest to kill Boyfriend, but during week 3, he sorta let him get away. Then, during week 7, that was the final straw for his friends in letting Boyfriend get away. Before talking about the actual songs, I just need a moment to gush about the animation in this cutscene. This ain't some Tankman rendered in-game ass cutscene. This cutscene is fully animated and it looks great. The style is fully maintained in these cutscenes and it transitions excellently into the songs against Darnell, another character from Pico's school. The songs in this week are excellent. It really sounds like Pico and Darnell are having a rap battle, when all the other songs in this game kind of feel like the battle part of rap battle has been thrown to the wayside. This is helped by, in the third song, Darnell actually throwing homemade bombs at you. And especially in the fourth song, where they actually just start throwing hands, which is fucking awesome, by the way. Well, that was the finished weeks that are currently in the game, but we aren't quite done yet. There's still some extra stuff in the free pay menu that we gotta check out. First of all, Nightmare Mode.
Okay, so, minor goof. They're not called Nightmare mixes. They're called Erect remixes. I just called them Nightmare mixes because that's the difficulty I played on when playing them, and I just completely forgot that they were called Erect remixes. And I'm gonna be so honest, I would much rather call them Nightmare mixes because saying the word erect makes me feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, that's just a minor goof, but you know what I'm talking about when I say more difficult versions of the song, like you know.
For some of the tracks, they have a special Nightmare Mode remix. All of them sound great, and all of them are much more difficult. On top of that, most of them improve the themes of the original songs or expand them. All the Daddy Dearest remixes make it sound like you're really battling to prove your worth to girlfriend, especially Dab at Her Nightmare. Goddamn, Kawaii Sprite really cooked with this one. The Nightmare remixes of the Skid and Bump songs are excellent, with Spooky's getting a noticeable improvement in its difficulty and overall vibe, and South getting even better with the song. The Pico remixes are great as well, but there's nothing really special to say about them. They're more difficult, yeah, and they sound great, but nothing too crazy. The Mommy Must Murder songs got a much more noticeable improvement, with the background getting even better, with mist covering the area below the limo, making it feel like you're almost flying amongst the clouds. Sand Panties sounds much more like an actual pop song, and High has achieved a legendary feel status. Week 5 Nightmare is nothing to write home about.
Wow. I've gotta lie to you guys. That's the most beautiful thing I ever heard my whole life.
And week 6 honestly got a downgrade in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but I feel like the problem is that they lean way too hard in being a video game. Thorns, however, has gotten even better, with it sounding much more like a desperation chase theme, and the background getting noticeably darker and creepier. Kinda reminds me of Pokemon Creepypasta vibes, as weird as that sounds. The Ugg Nightmare remix is honestly nothing to write home about, ending with kind of a mid-song in the lineup, but surprise, we're not done yet still! Pressing tab in free play lets you pick your character between Boyfriend and Pico, and picking Pico lets you choose between special Pico remixes for the songs as well as Darnell Nightmare mix. It's alright, and just to check, I loaded up the Pico mix of Stress. Not only was I graced with a different cutscene, but the song was actually different too.
Back for some tasty revenge, huh? Oh, that's cute. Boys, light 'em up. Oh, come on. Who the fuck is this knockoff? All right.
I didn't go through all the Pico mixes for this video though, but I'm sure they sound great. I know I didn't mention everything like the Kickstarter, the fact they got Lotus Juice on the character select screen, the actual developers, or any of the amazing mods, but I didn't feel like diving into the sewer waste that is the Friday Night Funkin' fandom to study all that, so that was Friday Night Funkin'. Overall, I would say the game was actually pretty fun. The game isn't super long, mind you. I beat every song on my first try, but I didn't do everything, and I'm sure dying would take up a little bit more time if I wasn't as good at the game. But I feel like I just need a minute to talk about biases about this game, because I'm gonna talk about this more in my Zenless video eventually when that comes out, but the bias towards just games in general, I feel like needs to stop. People are allowed to enjoy what they want, and I feel like it's kind of stupid to shame somebody for liking a game that you either haven't played or you have played but, you know, you didn't really like that much. Listen, I don't really like Genshin Impact, but it's not like I'm going out of my way to insult or attack the people that do enjoy it, because I don't care. If you like Genshin Impact, that's fine. If you like, I don't know, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, that's fine too. I don't care. I feel like we all get so caught up in like the drama and the clout of it all, we kind of forget that the people that, you know, like different things that we do are still just, you know, people with different opinions. It feels like people don't care enough to either play things for themselves or form well-constructed opinions without insulting people.
Singing that was cool and all, but I just want to let you know that was insanely painful.
Again, I'll talk about this more in my Zenless video, but I just want people to, you know, not be as angry with each other. Alright, that should be it. I promise the Zenless video will come out soon, but I'm heading out for now. See ya.